So that's interesting for him, and the missionary work is, I guess, exactly what it sounds like. You travel and you try to get people to convert to
There
Mormonism.
was a large Mormon church where I come from, and there would always be American kids on a mission, and my mother would always have time for them. She would never convert, but
there was a lot. There were Mormon.
It's a huge Mormon church where I live.
Interesting.
And the American kids would come over.
You know that if you're not part of the church, you're not allowed, and
I did not know that.
You can't go in. You can't go in. My grandmother actually visited. There's a big Mormon temple out in Town and Country.
Yeah.
Here in St. Louis.
That's a beautiful temple on the outside.
Right. And there was a tour given prior to basically its opening to the congregation, and my grandmother went and saw it when she could, because she's not part of that faith. Anyway, elaborate, I think, is one way to describe it from what I heard. It very ornate and decorated.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Lisa is not worthy of temple activity. She says she goes to church, but you have to be worthy to go to the beautiful.
Too much Diet Coke.
Is that the only thing she drinks too much of?
Tequila.
Okay, right. She's in the booze business, so that might be frowned upon who knows. Whitney and Lisa go to visit Angie, and basically they just have a little hen session of pecking at the other women, and we're on your side, Meredith sucks, and I don't know about Heather, and what's Monica do? They talk about all of them. They just talk about the rest of the women, and it seemed catty and kind of cliquey, and it was a little off-putting until Lisa gets all butthurt and triggered, as she said, that Heather invited Angie over for a one-on-one. Apparently when
and they never liked each other. They've known each other since they were 15.
Right. When Lisa was going through whatever she was going through in the past, Heather didn't reach out to her. And so Lisa kind of turns it around and makes it all about her.
Don't we all know that person?
Well, sure.
No matter what's going on, they make it about themselves.
Right. Yeah. So, we jump now to Meredith and her son driving. Brooks. This is my first introduction to Brooks. Quite a character. He's driving with ski goggles on.
Which probably isn't a bad idea.
It's not a great look.
No, but to combat snow blindness, especially as they were almost involved in a fatal accident.
Fatal accident a week ago, which probably was a slight skid off the road into a snowbank. But as Meredith tells the story, it was very close to being off the cliff.
And she was dabbing non-existent tears with her tissue.
Yeah. Seemed a little... Anyway, she talks to her son about his relationships, and her son...
Because he's now officially out. If you remember, we all knew he was gay, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in previous seasons, nobody would say it.
Well, there's so little wrong with that he flaunts it in a way.
Did you see him running in his snowshoes?
Well, yeah, of course. That was delightful. I was really happy for him.
Yeah, me too.
So they're putting on their snowshoes, and he's bending over to strap on the snowshoe, and somehow it's mentioned that you need to stretch, and he says, "Trust me, I get stretched all the time."
Oh my!
It's a little much for a mom to hear, isn't it?
And that was his first boyfriend.
I don't know. Whatever.
I would say there's been previous. If he's stretched,
it won't be his last. So good for him. Get out there and have some fun, and keep your goggles on, and be safe. So now we go to Monica. It's Monica and her mom and her Nana, her grandmother. They're driving in the car, and we're told by Monica's mom that Nana likes the fish sandwich from Mickey D's from McDonald's.
Okay, not a bad choice.
I mean, apparently Mary Cosby does too.
Yeah, it's popular.
Yeah, it's popular, and So, but Nana doesn't seem very, like she's in a very good mood.
No, she's hangry, I think.
Yeah. So, on the way to the senior center, they stop and they get some snacks, and some snacks, foods, sandwiches, fries are offered to Nana. She just kind of shakes her head with a scowl on her face. But I'm sure she was fed and nourished. Because they end up at the senior center where Nana knows everybody and Monica's getting introduced as the granddaughter. And there's a card game going on. And I could not identify the card game.
No, man.
My guess is maybe a deck of cards was dealt out to the table.
Yeah.
And then another full deck, was being drawn one at a time by the dealer. That's what it sounded like to me.
And who's ever left with the most cards? Because Monica was out. So
I would think you would want to be out. I don't know which way it goes. But it was funny, and Salt Lake City's not in the South, but the card dealer talked very much like people I know that are from the rural South, and she was saying, Queen of Hearts, 5 of clubs, 4 spades.
And the prize was a bottle of Coca-Cola.
Well, I don't think they're allowed to play for money, because then you could take advantage of somebody who's impaired in some way, or don't have their full. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know.
If you're at a senior center, and gambling was allowed, that could get the staff in trouble.
True.
But you could play for a Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Why not? Coca-Cola. So Angie takes her mom aside while Nana is playing cards with her friends, and I hope winning, because Coca-Colas are delicious.
Oh my gosh. I wonder if they have a diet option.
I would hope could be any soft drink, a soft drink of your choice, right? Soft drink of your choosing. So Monica and her mom are having a conversation. Monica's mom tells us that she went on a date last week, and Monica's interest is piqued. And then we find out that the suitor ghosted her. And we find out why, because she leaked a little. Well, Monica first says, "You must have done something wrong."
Yeah, to be
right?
ghosted.
Like we've said to people in our world, "What are you sure? What did you do?" She told the gentleman that she was celibate and was going to remain celibate as long as she was outside of marriage. If you're in what I would assume she's in her 60s. Late 60s.
Yeah.
That's probably not something that your date wants to hear.
Most definitely not.
I don't think this guy is rushing into marriage. I don't think nuptials are on the list of things he wants to do prior to having sex.
Not at that age.
No. I mean, I think you just whatever. Okay. So they start talking about boundaries and this and that, and Monica informs us that there is a boundary that is consistently breached, and that is that her mom just walks into her house. Now, maybe the mom knocks first, but then just proceeds in without, And Monica uses an example of something that could go terribly wrong, and she goes, I could be on the couch having a 69 on the couch. You would walk in, and it would ruin us forever. That's true.
Yeah, it would, but I could not imagine saying that to my mother.
Why would you talk? Why would that be the thing? You could there's
could
other
have
ways
a boyfriend.
to say it. Yeah, right.
I mean, going into the 69.
Directly to 69?
I would rather die than even say 69 to my mother. I mean, she probably wouldn't have known where it was. I hope. Because mums don't do that.
Yeah. So that happened, and then the mom says something like, lock the door if you're having 69 or something. It's just like, okay, we don't need any more conversations between children and their parents.
Would you really be having a 69 on the couch and
why not go to the bedroom?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
69 on the couch.
It's messy.
Unless it's a double wide couch, seems a little uncomfortable. I've never found couches to be the best spot. beds. As adults, can we just go to the bed?
Yeah, we don't.
There's no need for cars or back seats, or there's no need for that. We all own at least one bed.
Yes.
Go to the bed to have sex, people. Get off the couch. Okay. Yeah. So in the background, we're still hearing 8 of clubs, 10 of diamonds. All right? I like that lady. I would play cards with that lady. Oh, yeah. For sure.
She would be no nonsense.
Oh, she runs a tight game.
Yeah, she goes by the rules.
Right. So then we also find out that recently, during a phone call, Monica's mom thought there was a hang-up. There wasn't a hang-up. It's a live call, still active, and she starts cursing at her daughter, calling her names.
Have to be so careful.
Yeah. Okay.
This happened to me recently, and
it's a dangerous situation.
Dangerous.
It's a dangerous situation. So Monica's mom is sitting there saying, "I hate you," and there's a lot of there's a heated moment, and she doesn't mean it, but you have to. So I know this is a true story. I worked at a company once, and one of the guys in our regional office was on the phone with a boss at headquarters. Thought he had hung up.
Oh, here we go.
And started saying things, negative things about this individual. And that individual was a real prick. I mean, he was not a nice guy.
Yeah.
But you don't want to get caught saying that. So the boss hears it, all right. Couple days later, he calls me. I'm a second in command kind of situation in the office. Says, I'm going to be coming to town next week, but I don't want you to tell anybody, but I need you to pick me up from the airport.
Did you tell anyone?
I did not.
Good.
Because he would have fired me too. Yeah. He made a special trip to town just to fire the guy in person instead of firing him over the phone. And tells me, I could have just let him go. Yeah. But I wanted to do it in person.
Ooh, and how did it go down?
Oh, it was quick.
Yeah.
It was a quick
Ooh.
Yeah, it happened quickly. It was a quick conversation. And then I was left with the responsibility of managing a dysfunctioning branch.
Perfect.
Yeah, well, lovely. It didn't end well for anybody eventually. But at least I didn't get caught on the other end of a phone call talking about somebody. You got to be smarter than that. You just have to be smarter than that.
Always just pick up the phone and put it back down, or make sure that person's gone.
Yeah.
Easily done.
It's so simple.
Especially when your iPhone or your Android is in your purse. Somehow it can knock things.
I don't know about
call people.
Luckily, I am often the recipient of a pocket or butt dial phone call. Yeah. My son does it to me occasionally. Others have. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've done that to anybody that I'm aware of.
We know I have.
Yeah. Oopie.
Sometimes the Lord moves in mysterious ways.
Does for us what we can't do for ourselves.
That's very true.
Yes. Anywho, I think that's the end of the episode. There's some dumb little ski thing with Heather and Whitney.
Which was pointless.
Pointless, totally pointless. We want... The main thread for us here is what's going on with Angie and her husband and Meredith. Where is that going to... is her husband straight? Is he gay? It doesn't really matter.
No.
It doesn't really matter. But here's my experience of this world has been... rumors, as is also true with stereotypes, are not born out of complete fantasy.
No smoke without fire.
No smoke without fire. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. We're going to leave it right there.
We'll leave it right there.
Leave it right there. Well, enjoy the rest of your week. We still stand with Israel. We're not going to dwell on that, but it's worth saying this is a thing. And our thoughts and prayers are going out to those suffering around the world.
Yes.
All right?